everyone, welcome to the Science of Golf Performance YouTube show. I'm Alex, and this is my assistant today, Izza. And we're going to be talking about when you're training for speed, what mobility do you need, what mobility should you have, and what's ideal for that. So I'm going to go through the 4 main rotary centers in which you should have ideal mobility and what that ideal mobility is. The first rotary center we're going to talk about and look at is the neck. So your ideal neck range of motion, obviously you have flexion, extension, and then rotation of the neck. When I'm looking at a client to make sure they have ideal mobility, I'm looking to see in their rotation, can they touch their collarbone with their chin without any excessive shrugging of the shoulder or opening their mouth to touch it to their collarbone. So I look at Izza, I have her rotate her neck to the left first. Go ahead and try and touch your collarbone there. Okay, good. Yeah, your shoulder stays down. That's good rotation. Now to the right, same thing. And down the collarbone. That's good neck rotation. If you find that, there's pain or restriction, that might be something to address and might be kind of a red flag when training for speed. The second spot we'll look at is shoulder rotation. So having ideal shoulder rotation going to help you get more acceleration in your downswing, more range of motion going into your backswing. So when I am looking at a client, their shoulder rotation, I'm stand at the side. Go ahead and get into golf posture for me, Izza. So kind of hinge over there, about 90 degrees in your right shoulder to start. And now I'm going to have her externally rotate at the shoulder as far as she can back. Okay. Now I'm looking for is a little more than spine angle on her rotation. So I look at her hip bone here, up through her wrist. Straight down would be equal to spine angle. If I can get her, get a little more than spine angle there, that's good shoulder rotation, okay? And that's ideal. You can relax as a... Okay, so that is what you're looking for. If you can get your shoulder past your spine angle, have someone film you doing it, or you can look in the mirror, see for yourself. If it's equal to spine angle, you're getting there. And if you're less than, you really need to do some work on your rotator cuffs, those rotator muscles, and it'll save you from a lot of maybe injuries down the road when training for speed. So the third spot we're going to look at is hip rotation. For this one, I'm going to have Izza sit in the chair. All right, and I'm going to have her internally rotate her hip as far as she can. So let's go with the right one, Izza. Go ahead and keep your knee where it is. Just rotate that foot out, rotating internally with the hip. Okay, and what I look for here is I ideally want to see about 45 degrees. So if you go down to the bottom again, kind of relax. So that's 0. 90 would be all the way out to the side. Go ahead and rotate. 45 would be about out here right in the middle. So you see you're probably at about like 35 or something is right there. Okay, and you can look in the mirror again with yourself, have somebody else grade you. But ideally, if you have 45 degrees of hip rotation, that's good. That's safe for training speed, especially if you're in some sort of overspeed programming, making sure your hips move ideally and being able to rotate through your swing properly. The fourth center and the last one we're going to go over is trunk rotation. So your T-spine, how well can you rotate through your T-spine? Okay, so for this one, I'm still going to have Izza sit in the chair. I'm going to have her put her feet and her knees all the way together to take the hips out of the equation. Go ahead and put your hands across your shoulders, Izza. And I'm going to have her rotate to one side, either side you want there, as far as she can here. Okay. Now, think of it as her shoulders are square to the camera, to you. That would be 90 degrees, 0 on the start. And if I can get like 45 to 65 degrees, ideally I think I can get someone to 65 degrees, and that would be the most optimal. That's what you're looking for. If she cuts it here, if you're not able to rotate more than this, that's a problem. You're going to want to work your trunk mobility a little bit more. Flexion, extension, rotation on the T-spine is important. But she can get probably, rough estimate, like 55 or so degrees. So that's pretty good. Check both sides with that when you're testing your trunk rotation. One side be more stiff, maybe more stiff than the other, but ideally you want to see about 50 to 65 degrees with that. Okay, thank you. So those are the 4 main rotary centers and what you're looking for when you want to rotate through them, the number of degrees and spine angle with the shoulder. But ideally when training for speed, you want to make sure that you have the right amount of mobility to do so. If you're doing a lot of speed training, quick ballistic movements specific to the golf swing, or even just in the gym, you put yourself at higher risk if you're lacking mobility in any of these centers. You want to make sure your tissue quality is good. You have ideal range of motion for doing those fast speed movements. And it's important that you keep them healthy and keep them mobile. That's it for this segment here. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.